Hello there, welcome to the second part of our mobile game series. In this part, we will be designing our level, creating the terrain, adding trees and grass, and building the light. So, let's get started. So guys, in the previous video we had downloaded the standard asset pack and the nature starter kit. In this project I have also created some models of my own. I'm gonna be adding them in the link below. So to start creating the level, go to File, New Scene, and move the project view because we're gonna be needing a much bigger workspace now. Go to the plus sign, and 3D object, click terrain. So this is our terrain. Click on the terrain and go to inspector. All the settings of the terrain are stored here. Go to the settings icon here and change the size of the terrain. Right now it's 1000 by 1000. I'm going to change it to 200 by 200 and set the height to 200 as well. Now let's focus on it. Now the level that we're going to be making is a beach level, so the terrain is going to be looking like an island. So to do that, we're going to go to the brush sign here and click and select raise or lower terrain. Now we have a bunch of options here: the brush size, opacity, which means the strength of the brush, and a couple of brushes here. I'm going to use the second one and just click and raise the area. Oh, that's too much. I think this is fine. Yeah, this is fine. Now to lower the terrain, we can just click shift and click. It's gonna raise the terrain. Now, okay, this is fine. Let's raise it a little more. Now what we need to do is even out the surface, the top of the surface. Go to set height and increase the brush size a little. So what the set height option does is when you click shift and click on an area, the tool automatically samples the height of that area, and now when we paint over the terrain, it automatically samples the rest of the area from that height, with that height, sorry. Okay. Now it's fine. Let's even it out a little. Okay, this is fine. Now what we need is the edges are too sharp. I'm gonna change the edges, roughen up the edges a little by changing the brush size here. We can also give the ground a bit of a depth here with this brush. Okay. Now this is looking fine. We're gonna save our scene. In the scenes folder, we're gonna save as level 1. Save. Now what we need to do is Okay, this is actually looking fine. Now what we need to do is we're going to be adding a sand texture on the terrain. So go to paint texture option and select edit terrain layers. Click create layer and let's search for a sanded video. It comes with the standard asset pack and we have it. The sand texture is applied to our terrain. Now the sand is not going to be covering the whole terrain. We're going to be adding a grass texture too. The sand is only going to be on the source of the island. So to add a new layer, we're going to go to create layer again and let's search for ground. I think we have a ground here. Yeah, I'm going to select the ground one option. Now you can see there are two terrain layers here. We're going to select the green option, the green ground, and change the brush actually and paint over our middle part of the ground. There we have it. Now before we do anything, we need to add our third person character to get a feel of how tall the trees and grass will be. So go to project, standard asset, character, third person, prefab and third person character. Click and drag it. There we have it, our character in the scene. Now we are currently in the scene view, and if we switch to the game view, you can see that we actually can't see anything, and that's because the camera is positioned there. So to change that, select our main camera and I'm gonna go to our top view here and zoom out and move our camera to where our third person character is. And practically just we're gonna position it. You can see a little preview here. Let's push it back a little. Okay, so this is looking fine. Now what we need to do is, currently we have our character here and our camera here. So what we need to do is we're gonna drag the main camera and put inside third person controller. Okay, so now this way the camera is going to be following the third person controller. Press save and we can actually play it right now. There we have it. Our camera is following the character and the grass looks fine. Let's see the sand. Okay, so yeah, the terrain is a little bit too high. We can change that, don't worry. You can change that by selecting the terrain, go to inspector, setting, and we can change the height here from 200 to 100. There we have it. I think this is fine. Let's see our third person controller and reposition it on the ground. Always keep your character a little bit above the ground. Now let's see. Yeah, So okay, this is fine actually, it's looking nice. Now we can add our trees and our grass and our okay. So to add trees, we're going to select the terrain and go to the tree option here, paint trees option, and edit trees, add tree. I'm going to select our tree, and because it is a beach scene, we're going to use the palm tree option. It came with the standard asset. Click on add. There we have it, our palm tree option. Now let's change the tree height actually to 1.5 and paint in front of the character so that we can see if this, oh sorry, that's too much of a density. We can see how well it looks. Yeah, the height is fine. So let's paint it all over our little island. We have it. All the palm trees are in place. Let's add a little more. No, that's too much. Yeah, this is fine. No, sorry. You can just now it's fine. Okay, so the trees are done. You guys can experiment and add with your own imagination. Now let's add some grass texture. To add grass texture, go to paint details, edit details, and add grass texture. Select our grass texture here, grass, search for grass 1. Change the height a little bit. I'm gonna use the 0.5 and 1. Change the dry color to something deep and add. Now as you can see, like the tree option, we have a grass option here. Click on the grass and paint in front of the third person character so that we can see if the sizing is correct. Yeah, I think the size is perfect. Let's paint all over the island. And guys, don't worry if you can't see the grass texture from far because the camera culls it. So if you have painted it, it's probably there, don't worry. Okay, so the grass is in place. Save the scene. Now what we need to do is we're going to add some water to our island. So to add water, go to project, standard assets, environment, water 4, go to prefab and drag and drop the water 4 and simple. There we have it, our water. I'm gonna go to the top view and adjust. And push it down. There we have it, our beach. Let's save and see how this looks. Press play. Okay, so it looks nice. Right? Okay, so now the scene, we actually can see the edge of the world here. That's not supposed to happen. So we're gonna change our skybox here. To change the sky, we have a nice sky in the nature starter kit. Go to nature starter kit, nature, sorry, I think it's in the texture folder. Yeah, in the texture folder we have our sky. We're gonna click on the skybox and click and drag. There we have it. Our sky is in place. This is looking nice. Actually, we should change the height of the terrain to 50, because right now it's too high for our character here. Or maybe no. Let's play. Actually, the camera is too high. I'm gonna adjust the camera here. Now let's play. This is looking nice. Okay. Now let's add some more details to our scene here. I have some assets for you guys. I'm gonna go to my Hello World asset, go to prefab, and I have a cabin here that I'd like to add here. To add assets, we're gonna just click and drag and put it inside scene. Just rotate the house here. Let's see if the scale is fine. Yeah, the scale is okay. Our house is in place. Let's add some more details. Like, I'm going to be adding some more natural rocks. I have a dock here that we're going to use. So yes guys, just use all the assets here and try to make something cool. Okay guys, so after placing some random objects to make it look like more natural, we have our makeshift island here. It's looking good. Now what we need to do is we're gonna check our lighting a little, go to our directional light and change the color a little, and we're gonna generate our lighting. Go to window, rendering, lighting settings and generate lighting. Now this will make the area look a bit more realistic and beautiful. Okay, so the lighting is inbuilt. Now let's play and see. It's looking nice. It's looking very nice. Okay, so now what we need to address is that right now the player can just walk into the abyss. Like he can just keep walking and walking, right? Right now we don't have any swimming animation or anything like that, so we need to restrict his movement to a certain point. So to do that, we need to just add some colliders. We're gonna add some colliders here. We're gonna go to create a 3D object and place a cube, and let's name it wall. Go to the top view and adjust the size of the wall. And height. This is fine. Okay. Now we need to uncheck the mesh renderer, and the wall will be transparent now. So the player will not be able to get past this point. Let's try it out. Let's see if it's in the right place or we need to shift it. I think we're gonna need to shift it. Let's see. No, it's fine. Now we need to shift it a little bit. Okay. Now just duplicate it. On all the 4 sides. And it's done. Now let's clear up the hierarchy a little bit. Go to create an empty game object and insert the 4 walls in it, and create a new one and add all the rocks inside that one. We'll leave the boat and dock alone. There we have it. Okay. Now let's actually this is looking fine. Let's edit. Yeah, so this is looking very fine. This is looking nice. We can enter our house. And guys, I'm going to be adding these assets in the description, so please download and use it. We have our house here. Some random rocks, etc. You can easily see how you can use various assets and populate the scene to make it look more natural and all. But right now it's looking fine. We have a sea here. The colliders are in place. Where is my collider? Okay. We have to change this collider right now. We have to add some diagonal colliders. Now it's gonna work fine. So yeah, that's it guys for the level designing. That's all you need to know about placing trees, grass and etc. So use these assets and create your own level. I just gave you some basic tips and directions. So yeah, and the next part we are going to be adding our own character and animations in the game. So stay tuned and please subscribe and like this video. Thank you guys.